Okay, we've done adding, we've done subtracting, on to multiplying positive and negative mixed numbers. Whoop whoop. Okay, here we go. Most of the time, multiplication and division is what scares everybody. However, with fractions, believe it or not, the multiplying one is probably the easiest one to get through. And as long as you know your integer rules, the negatives don't really mess it up all that too much or make it more difficult. So the first step, obviously, is let's make them improper. We should know that these ones have to be made improper. Adding and subtracting don't necessarily have to be improper. Multiplying must be improper. So to make it improper, we know we're going to say 4 times 2 is 8, plus 1 is 9 over 4, and it's negative because it's negative 2 1/4, times 5 times 3 is 15, plus 1 is 16 over 5. Now we can go ahead and multiply 9 times 16 over 4 times 5. Once again, I will show both ways to simplify when we are dealing with fractions, and whichever way you prefer is totally fine to go with. So first we have 9 times 16 equals 144 over 4 times 5 is 20. Using our three numbers, 2, 3, and 5, we can simplify by 2, getting us 72 over 10. Well, guess what? We can simplify by 2 again, giving us 36 over 5. So we know that the improper fraction is 36 over 5. To determine if it's going to be positive or negative, we look at the signs. Negative 2 1/4 and positive 3 1/5. The signs are different. Our answer is negative, negative 36 over 5. If you're dying to make it a mixed number, you go right ahead. But you do not have to. Remember, if it's graded response, you wouldn't be able to. It would have to stay improper. So if you don't have to do that extra step, don't do it. Don't give yourself the opportunity for a careless error on something. So now let's go about the cross-simplifying way if you prefer that. We note that 4 and 16. 4 goes into 4 one time, and 4 goes into 16 4 times. 9 times 4 is 36. Oops, sorry. We do 9 times 4 and 1 times 5. 9 times 4 is 36. 1 times 5 is 5. We get the same answer either way. We also could have simplified by 2 and simplified it twice by 2. Going on to the next one, negative 4 1/8. We know we've got to make times negative 5 2/3. We know we have to make it improper. 8 times 4 is 32, plus 1 is 33 over 8, and we know it's negative, times 3 times 5 is 15, plus 2 is 17 over 3. We know it's negative. So we are saying negative 33 times negative 17. Oh, sorry, don't worry about the negatives. Over 8 times 3. Once again, I will show both ways to simplify, so that way you can choose whichever one's going to work for you. Now, here's a prime example of why cross simplification is a good thing. If you do 33 times 17, that gives you 561, and 8 times 3, which is 24. I don't know about you, but 561 is kind of a bigger number. It's a large number. If we go through our numbers to check what goes into it, we can say, does 2 go into it? No. Does 5 go into it? No. But we know 3 does, because 5 plus 6 plus 1, 5 plus 6 is 11, plus 1 is 12. And we know that 3 goes into 24 because 2 plus 4 is 6. So since we know that 3 goes into 12 and 3 goes into 6, we know that 3 will work for both of these. So we can simplify 561 and 24 by 3, giving us 187 over 8. And I can tell you now that 187 can't be simplified by 2, it can't be simplified by 5, and it can't be simplified by 8 because 1 plus 8 plus 7 is 16, and 3 doesn't go into 16. Now we need to discuss if it's going to be positive or negative. We know it's going to be positive. Both of the mixed numbers are negative. Negative 4 1/8, negative 5 2/3. Since both of them are negative, we know that our answer is going to be positive because the signs are the same. If we went about doing this cross-simplifying, we could say that we could simplify by 3 because 3 goes into 3 one time and 3 goes into 33 11 times. Now we're just left multiplying 11 times 17, which is a little less scary than the 33 times 17, and then we have 8 times 1, which is 8. And once again, we end up with the same answer, so we can go about it either way. That is how you multiply positive and negative mixed numbers.